And you know, the other side's going around trying to make me sound extreme, like I'm an extremist. I'm not. I'm a person with great common sense. I'm not an extremist at all. Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have. They're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But what they do is misinformation and disinformation, and they keep saying, he's a threat to democracy. I'm saying, what the hell did I do for democracy? Last week, I took a bullet for democracy. What did I do against democracy? Crazy.
When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl searching for the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl. When it just makes sense, it's your red-pilled brown girl, and get into the truth. It's your red-pilled brown girl.
It's your red-pilled brown girl. Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Crystal. It's your red-pilled brown girl. I love it, y'all. I love. Y'all, shout out to my honey. He made that for me. I love it so much. Red pilled brown girl. Yeah, the soprano part is me. I'm on the soprano, you guys. Oh, all right. You guys, y'all by now have seen the thumbnail. And yes. I think it's about time we start to talk about this. Like, what's going on with conservatives? Like seriously, conservatives, we acting like we scared. We acting like we real scared. Okay? All right. But before we start to talk about it, I have a few people on. Go ahead and hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, show this podcast to somebody else. We have got to talk about this whole fake Project 2025. Oh my God. Like, I hear this all the time now. Like, it's starting to get really like heavy. Like, people are starting to talk about it more and more. For a while when Biden was running, they had started talking a little bit about it, you know, before they did that coup. They put that boy out of office and ordained the new chick. But anyway, yeah, so everybody was talking about Project 2025. Project 2025. Now, I have gotten, like, probably like most of you guys, I don't know, if you're conservative and you're watching me, you probably are the exact same way. I have gotten to the point where when the Democrats or the liberal media says something about anything, you guys, I'm telling you, like, they could literally say to me, the sky is blue, and I'm like, nope, I don't believe nothing they say. I literally do not believe anything that comes out of their mouth. So I've gotten to the point where if they say something about something, I immediately say, nah, wrong. If you apply that rule to your life, I guarantee you will be okay. You will be okay. Why? Because these folks lie. They lie like a rug, like we used to say. You lie like a rug. Same thing is going on with this whole 2025 scare tactic. Scary. Oh my God. 2025. Project 2025. Have you read it? They're going to put you back in chains. Y'all, I have gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't believe that black folks like black folks, people who identify as black, are still buying this nonsense. Like seriously, it's really really weird for me. Really weird. I'm trying to be like, okay, I understand how they can do it, but honestly, at this age, some of them are like 50 years old. Some of them are like 60 and 70. They're, oh, he's trying to end democracy with Project 2025. Well, hopefully now we all know that Project 2025 is not a Trump administration policy. It's not. Okay? Hopefully we can stick there, right? Now, I am a Trump girl. Y'all all know I like Trump. However, I did not like the way he disavowed himself from Project 2025 because I actually agree with Project 2025. And most of you guys, you will find out really quickly that most of y'all agree with Project 2025 as well. Before we get into this, you guys, I just want to welcome everybody. We are going to do a dive into this. Hey, Denzel, how are you? Peace to you, sweetie. Oh my gosh. So I'm just hitting up in the chat, just looking at the chat. You guys, thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing, because all of y'all friends who are Democrats, if you're a conservative, I know y'all have had Democrats that are like, well, what about Project 2025? Well, we're going to talk about it. We are going to look at Project 2025 because, like everything that is on the left, it is straight up manipulation, straight up lies, straight up fabrication, straight up stretching the truth, and hoping that the American people are stupid enough that they just don't dig a little bit deeper and catch on. And surprisingly, well, not really surprisingly, a lot of it is bullying too. They're trying to make conservatives say, I don't agree with this, just so they can say, see, that's why you on our side. No, conservatives, do not do it. After we watch this video, hopefully we are all clear. Share it with your Democrat, liberal, middle of the road people, because I am getting ready to explain exactly what Project 2025 is, how some parts of it may seem extreme when you look at it on the surface. However, Project 2025 is trying to restore the condition of America and American politics, okay? Whether you like it or not, you have to admit that we are completely out of order. They just tried to assassinate, to unalive a president, a presidential candidate, a former president, and Google has suppressed it in their media, in their search history. We don't even talk about it like it just never even happened. That's a problem, y'all. Where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong? I'm serious. Like, serious. So, with that being said, let's take a look at some of the things that they're saying with Project 2025. When I first heard of Project 2025, the person who sent it to me sent me a picture, and it looked like this. Let me share my screen with y'all because I think that this is super interesting. Let me share my screen so you can see what I see. Let me share my screen. He sent me this. Hold on, stop sharing. Yeah. Let me see. This. All this is fear mongering. Fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering. Project 2025, Presidential Transition Project. End no-fault divorce, complete ban on abortions without exceptions, ban contraceptives, additional tax breaks for corporations in the 1%, higher taxes for the working class, elimination of unions and worker protections. It sounds so like, whoa, oh my gosh. Let's keep reading. Raise the retirement age, cut Social Security, cut Medicaid, end the Affordable Care Act, raise prescription drug prices, eliminate the Department of Education, use public taxpayer money for private religious schools, teach Christian religious beliefs in public schools, end free and discounted school lunch programs, end civil rights and DEI protections in governments, ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education, ban books and curriculum about slavery, ending climate protections, increase Arctic drilling, deregulate big business and the oil industry, promote and expedite capital punishment, end marriage equality, condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families, defund the FBI and Homeland Security, use the military to break up domestic protests, mass deportations of immigrants and incarceration in camps, end birthright citizenships, ban Muslims from entering the country, eliminates federal agency like the FDA, EPA, NOAA, and more, continue to pack the Supreme Court and lower courts with the right-wing judges. Y'all, here's the thing. When they sent it to me, I guess they wasn't ready for my response. They was not ready for my response. Shout out to Mandy. Hey, Mandy. Courtholic. Let me tell you, they was not ready for my response. My response was, I agree with everything in that. Because I can see past it. I can see past the manipulation, you guys. The way they're making it sound, they're making it sound so bad. In free lunch for school kids. Really? 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 Would any American just, and y'all can say whatever y'all want to. Americans are nice. We believe, when it comes to other countries, y'all, other countries are not as nice as Americans. We are entitled, ungrateful. We think that this is the norm, okay? It is not normal to have as many social programs as we have. It is not normal for us to have endless welfare, social security, and things like that. And all of those things are being abused because people take it for granted. And so when I saw that, I'm like, really? 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 First of all, to a conservative, I don't know a conservative person that would not agree with any of those things. However, they do try to put things like banning books in there. I've already done a video on banning books, you guys. I'm going to put the link in there for you guys to see it. Ain't nobody banning no real books. Like, nobody is banning real books. That was a whole lie in and of itself. What we are trying to do is get these pornographic material books that don't serve the interests of our children, books talking about homosexuality, books that are graphic. We are trying to get those out of our school. And if you want to get mad because we're banning those books, that's your problem. That's your problem. I don't care. So when they sent it to me, I was like, oh, okay, here's somebody trying to manipulate me. Okay, fine, whatever. But I love that the Heritage Foundation, right, came out. But before I say that, let me say this. Donald Trump, when you saw his video in the beginning, he said that they are very conservative. They are the Heritage Foundation is as conservative. They're a very conservative think tank. They even have some of the writings of Ben Carson, who I think is fantastic. And I don't think he's as conservative as a lot of people think he is, but he's very conservative. Now, if you have been watching me, y'all know that I am very conservative. So when I saw that Project 2025, I was like, oh, okay. Sounds good to me. However, President Trump, if you know anything about him, he's not that conservative. He's probably as middle of the road, not conservative, but not crazy as they get. But that's why they don't like him, because he's effective. He is effective. And he's effective enough to say, hey, okay, these conservative think tanks don't want, they want a whole bunch of things. And I'm not that far. I want to be more middle of the road to help the American people. That's President Trump. They are trying to make him seem like he is just crazy, and he's not. But what he did say, you guys, is they have think tanks on the left as well. One in particular I was looking at the other day, the Progressive Policy Institute. Like, these people are crazy. Like, they are trying to do everything that is the opposite of progress in America. They're the reason that these liberal think tanks are the reason that we have the policies that we have today regarding books and allowing books that have pornographic material into kids' schools. That's them. Banning prayer in school and allowing demon worshipers in school. That's what these liberal think tanks are doing. So them trying to push it, I don't know why us conservatives are not like standing up to them and saying, hey, y'all have your own crazy communistic think tanks as well. One in particular I just saw, and I sent it to my husband. Let me tell you, it is, I just told y'all about the Progressive Policy Institute, and then there's the Roosevelt Institute. Like, they are crazy. Like, they literally talk about DEI and shaping society. They said there is another important critique of economic standards. It is the premise that individual preferences is exogenous, but the economy and our society are generally shape who we are. If our economic system encourages people to be selfish and greedy and amplify rewards those who behave that way, more people will be selfish and greedy. What does that sound like? A bunch of communists talking about how you have to share with people, give helping people with what do you call it, like unions, all of these things. Like, they have their own like progressive, crazy liberal, like think tanks as well. I thought that was really important that President Trump brought out. But with that being said, the Project 2025 agenda, like my good friend Chad O. Jackson, he said it don't even go as conservative as I am and as he is. Like, seriously, like we die hard. We true to, we not new to this. We true to this. Okay. Like, when I say we are conservative, we are really conservative. And Project 2025 is just trying to get people back into right standing in the United States Constitution. So Project 2025, and you can actually go onto their website. I'm going to read a lot of this off of their website, and then I'll give you my opinion. When you go to their website now, it's on project2025.org. Okay. And it says, don't forget to change this so you don't miss. Okay. Thanks, Mandy. Okay, Project 2025. It says the left has spent millions fear-mongering about Project 2025 because they're terrified of losing their power. Boop! That's the truth. Project 2025 is wanting to get the government back in check. And it said, and they should be. Project 2025 offers a menu of solutions to the border crisis, inflation, a stagnant economy, and rampant crime. It shows how we can take on China, fix our schools, and support families. But most importantly, it dismantles the unaccountable deep state, taking power away from leftist elites and giving it back to the American people and the duly elected president. Why is that important, you guys? Why is that important? Because right now we have a geriatric president, bless his heart, quote unquote, running the country. When we all know that, unfortunately for us and sad for him, Joe Biden is not capable of running the country. He's not. Y'all, we saw him in decline, and it was really sad to watch this man just decline. Like, it was really, really sad. And basically, they are leaving him in office. So what do you know? He is not in control. Exactly, Mandy. He's asleep right now. He's asleep right now. So, but according to them, they elected him. So shouldn't he be running the country? But they're not letting him run the country. So other people who have not been elected by the people are running the country. That's a problem. Everybody talks about, oh, Donald Trump is going to try to take power away from, yes, he's going to take power away from these deep state people. Yes, he is. And he's going to take the power. You know why he deserves the power? We elected him. We elected him. These unelected bureaucrats should not be taking over anything. Okay? So, if you guys go with me to this, you can actually see it. And one of the things that I think is so awesome that they did, that they took the time to do, which most of your friends and family will not. They just want the liberal media to just feed them, and then they just repeat it instead of them saying, hey, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I had somebody tell me that Donald Trump said that he wants to never have another election. He never said that. And somebody was like, no, Crystal, he said that. No. These people don't understand how far the left is willing to lie on us. And so we have to just kind of put it in front of their faces, you guys. We got to start to educate ourselves. We got to be up on this stuff. We got to be like just ready to answer, ready to take an account. So go to project2025.org. I'm going to try and break this down as much as possible. But basically, they try to be very non-partisan. And they even said it. They said this is not partisan, nor is it secret. You know, they're not trying to hide this. They're not trying to, do this under the rug. They are really trying to restore the faith back in the American government that we used to have. But right now, the government is so out of line. They actually go down and they actually talk about debunking the lies. The very first lie that they have, you guys. Matter of fact, I am going to share my screen because I think that this is really, really, really important. The very first lie that they're going to debunk. Hold on. Stop screen sharing. Sorry. The very first lie they're going to debunk is, here we go. Project 2025 is a plan from Trump. False. Even Liberal USA Today's fact checkers have rated this claim as false. They wrote unambiguously that Project 2025 is an effort by the Heritage Foundation, not Donald Trump. Okay, that's the very first lie that I think is an important one that we take on, you guys, because let me do this side by side so we can do that. All right, it's very important that we take that on because they are trying to attach President Trump to this. Mind you, it wouldn't make me no difference. I'd be happy if he is attached to it, but they're doing it to try and manipulate people. All think tanks come up with their own plan. This is something that they're looking forward to. If conservatives win the election, they're going to implement this, or they're going to try to influence the administration to do these types of things, but it is not from President Trump. However, I think it should be because I think it's great. Actually, I love Project 2025 actually. Okay, the second one that they debunk is to terminate the Constitution. This is false, okay? Project 2025 actually represents an attempt to restore constitutional governance, not terminate it, bringing the administrative state more firmly under the control of the president, whose authority traces back directly from the Constitution, could not be further from terminating this quintessential founding document. So they are saying that right now, the government is being run by these bureaucrats, these deep state people, whoever, and they have to put the power back into where we elected the power to go to, which is the president. Okay. The president has to have, there has to be constitutional governance that shows the balance of power, that shows the Congress and the executive branch and the judicial branch. They have to be able to show those types of things. And they want to make it more consistent with the Constitution, which brings the administrative state more firmly under control of the president. Okay, so the president who we elect has to have the control over the people that are underneath him. Right now, the people are being controlled, manipulated. We even say that, Joe Biden is being taken over. And that's the honest to God truth. And the reason why they don't like President Trump is because he would not allow that. He would not allow that. And that's a problem. Okay? All right. Second debunk is it gives the government more power over your daily lives. Every conservative should know that. That, first of all, any conservative think tank is not trying to give more power to the government. They're not. If anything, they're trying to give less power to the government. Project 2025 aims to weaken the bureaucracy that churns out tens of thousands of pages of rules every year. A more restrained administrative state translates into less control over Americans' daily lives, not more. And that's what most conservatives want. Honestly, that's what more people want. They don't know how to say it. Conservatives say this all the time. We want the government to get out of our homes, out of our lives. And unfortunately, the Democratic Party promises these people all kinds of things that they're going to do, and we're going to help, and they don't help at all. They actually destroy. Okay. Another lie is it's going to gut checks and balances on presidential power. Project 2025, that's false. Project 2025 aims to protect democracy by restoring traditional checks and balances between the president, Congress, and the courts. We advocate making the administrative state more accountable by restoring the president's control over the bureaucrats in the executive branch. Okay? Not in the judicial branch, not in Congress, in the president has to be in control of the executive branch, you guys. We elect the president, they have to be in control. The president cannot be asleep. The president cannot be on the beach like Joe Biden. That's a problem. If anything happens right now, you guys, we are not covered. We are not taken care of. Daddy is not home. And that should scare every last one of us. Ugh. Anyway. Okay. Civil rights. Let's talk about these. These are the lies. Ban books and curriculum about slavery. Y'all already know what that is. It is false. They never advocate for banning books about slavery. However, just like I mentioned in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis did ban a lot of these books because a lot of the books that they say are about slavery or about the civil rights movement and things like that, they incorporate a lot of LGBTQ agendas. They incorporate a lot of divisiveness, telling children that they are innately superior, like white people, with the white supremacy thing, and they're inherently racist. All of those things are unacceptable, y'all. Unacceptable. Nobody is going to ban a book about slavery because everybody kind of knows there's slavery. Like, we had slavery, but so did Egypt. Since the beginning of time, there has been slavery, you guys. There's still slavery now over in Africa. Still slavery in China. Nobody's talking about it, but everybody wants to dig into the American people, white people in particular, and tell them that they're so evil because once upon a time there was slavery. Well, I can tell you one thing: white people ended slavery as well, while these blacks over there in Africa still got it going on. White men ended slavery. Them black folks in Africa that was selling all of y'all black people, they would have kept it going until the cows come home. They would have kept selling y'all. It's the truth. They would have kept, let me tell you, as long as them white folks would have kept buying, they would have kept selling. I'm lying? Right. Look, right in the chat if I'm lying, y'all. It's the truth. It was white people, white abolitionists that stopped slavery. I'll get off my high horse. Anyway. Okay, you guys. All right. Another lie. Continue to pack the Supreme Court and lower courts with right-wing judges. I knew this was a lie. Because the only people calling for packing the judiciary system are those on the left who do it every time the Supreme Court or the lower courts makes a decision they don't like. The only people trying to pack the court is the Democrats. More court, more judges. Oh, we don't need, we don't need 9 judges. We need 12. We need 13. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was she was a liberal. She said that was a bad idea. They want to add more because they don't want to work within the rules. They want to cheat, guys. They don't want to work within the rules. When you get the opportunity to get a job, when you get the opportunity to get a judge, you appoint them. If you don't have the opportunity, you work within the laws. The Supreme Court is not partisan. Like, people were getting upset because of Amy Coney Barrett. You guys remember when Amy Coney Barrett actually sided with the federal administration over the border, and she looked at it just from just pure black and white, and she went against the conservative because they're not supposed to be partisan. They're supposed to look at it black and white and say, legally this is what it should be. And that's all the judges are supposed to be doing, is looking at it pure from the lens of, is it constitutional or not? And what the left wants to do is just pack the court with people who believe like they do, and they could care less about the Constitution. And that's the facts. I'm so glad they said that. All right, another lie. End civil rights. But first of all, I hate that word civil rights. Like, do you need rights to be like civil is something that is God given to you. We were given civil rights by our Constitution. Like, it gave us the Constitution, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This civil rights movement that came along is a hustle. Okay, so if they wanted to end it, I would be totally okay with it. Why? Crystal, because you're brown, and then people won't give you a job just because you're brown. I don't want to work with people who don't want to work with me. If I go on a job and you don't like me because I'm brown, I don't like you. I don't want to work there. I don't want to hang out with you. If you don't like me and I'm brown and you're white and you're peach and you want a white person, get a white person. I don't want to be where I'm not wanted. That's what people need to start doing. Some people need to start having enough confidence in themselves and their God-given abilities that they don't want to force themselves on somebody who don't want them. Sorry, don't believe in civil rights. Denzel, you said slavery in America is anti-apartheid. Slavery in America. I don't know what you mean. I don't want interracial marriage to be legalized in I don't want interracial marriage to be legalized in America. I don't want prostitution to be legalized. I mean, hey, I can't say that I blame you. Okay, let me say this. Love who you love if they are a different color, right? It's different than sex, right? A lot of people make great arguments for why they don't want interracial marriage. Denzel, you do your thing, babe. You do your thing. I'm an equal opportunity. What I will say is I don't want prostitution to be legalized only because of the fruits of prostitution and what it comes. It comes with drugs and all of those things. But hey, if you don't want to marry somebody who is a different color, that's you. You should be free to. That's you. Either he's serious or he trolling. Look, Mandy said, huh? He's either trolling or he's serious. Either way, I know a lot of people that don't want interracial marriage to be legalized in America. I actually don't care. Like what color you like. Exactly. I feel like we're all made in the image of God. As long as you're male and female, I don't really care. But hey, you do you, Denzel. All right, let's keep going. In civil rights, we were reading that. Okay. Project 2025's mandate for leadership calls for respecting the civil rights of all Americans, including those who have been censored by the government or had it weaponized against them. Mandate advocates for the end of divisive, race-bait, anti-American propaganda in the federal workforce. Okay? Now, that I love the way that they place that there, because what it's basically saying is ending civil rights. No, it's not ending civil rights. What it is it's giving civil rights to everybody, because right now people think that because you're a certain hue or a certain color that you're the only person entitled to civil rights. People who are peach, like my son says, are entitled to civil rights as well. Meaning it was against the civil rights of peach people for Joe Biden to say, yes, I'm going to hire a black female vice president. No job in this world can say, no job in the United States of America legally can say, I am specifically looking for a white male to do this job. So why should it be that you can say you're specifically looking for a black female to do this job? And that's what they're saying. They're not ending civil rights. If anything, they are trying to expand civil rights to everybody, including if you're white, including if you're privileged. And I'm sorry that my dad had money. You don't get to discriminate against me based on that. It's the truth. Okay? I love that. Thank you, Project 2025. Here we start to get into, this is funny. In DEI protections in the government. True. Project 2025's mandate for leadership advocates for the end of divisive, race-based, anti-American propaganda like DEI in the workforce. Thank you. Okay? Yes, in the federal workforce, you should be having the best of the best, okay? This means for hold on, what did you say? I'm a black woman that prefers dating white men. Oh, well, okay. Look, whatever you like, girlfriend. Quarterholic. Look, I really don't have a color. I think we're all made in the image of God. My husband says all the time, like, he just so happened to marry me because I'm, brown skin, but he's an equal opportunity employer. He's dated every race probably. And I love that for him. Okay, you guys. So let's talk about the DEI in the federal workforce. Okay. We seen how that worked out for the FBI. Trying to hire women or trying to hire black people as opposed to hiring the best suited for the job has not helped us at all, you guys. It has not. And so, yes, Project 2025 wants to end it in the federal workforce. Yep, they sure do. And they're actually really proud of it. Why? Because when we're talking about federal dollars or federal workforce, we are talking about the people that we hire and we give the government permission to hire. And the government should be wanting to hire the best of everything. We should have the best of the best FBI. We should have the best of the best CIA. We should have the best of the best everything, right? And we shouldn't be trying to figure out how we can expand. Now, if the best of the best just so happen to be a brown person, then go right ahead. Go right ahead. But we shouldn't be looking for skin color like they are doing right now. So I love that he said they're going to end the divisive race-based anti-American propaganda. Also, when it comes to DEI, in the federal workforce, Trump actually ended this, that people were having to do those DEI like classes. And Trump said, no, you don't have to do it. Now, if you want to do it, fine. But it's not required. And it shouldn't be. It should not be required that I sit and take something on microaggressions. The foolishness. Microaggressions. And all this kind of foolishness. Whatever. So I love it. I love it. Okay. They want to promote and expedite capital punishment. True. Capital punishment is biblical, y'all. It is. The appropriateness of capital punishment divides Americans and conservatives of goodwill. Project 2025's mandate for leadership calls for the enforcement of the federal death penalty where appropriate and applicable, and recommends a future presidential administration pursue the death penalty for the most heinous crimes, including those involving violence and sexual abuse of children, unless Congress says otherwise through legislation. What questions do you have? I don't have any questions. People who have and hurt children and sexually abuse children and do violence against children in the Bible, they were executed. Well, the Bible is an eye for an eye too. I mean, you can talk about grace all you want to. I mean, only God can give grace. But if you want to talk about God's judgment, especially when you hurt the least of these, Bible says that it's better that you put a millstone around your neck and go into the ocean than you hurt the least of these. So when you're hurting children, I actually find no fault with this. No fault at all. This Project 2025 is lit, y'all. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's keep going. All right. Cut military benefits for veterans and service members, including housing, TRICARE, retirement, and secondary education. We all know that that's false. Nobody in their right mind wants to cut veteran benefits, but the liberal Democrats who are trying to give it to the migrants. I digress. Project 2025 makes no cuts to any veteran benefits. It demands that the VA improves and modernize. It says the VA has long been mismanaged and has not served our nation's veterans for some time now. The VA needs more aggressive recruitment of doctors, mental health professionals, and other staff to meet urgent needs at unburdened healthcare care centers. This should be VHA centers should be required to see more patients per day. All VA medical centers should consider extending weekday hours and adding Saturday hours. So they are trying to do more for veterans. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Marriage and family. This was a big one. It says end no-fault divorce. That is false. Sorry. Divorce is not even mentioned in the 2025 mandate for leadership. So it's something that they made up. It's not even mentioned, but they keep talking about it's going to end no-fault divorce. All right, in marriage equality. This is false. The legal recognition of same-sex marriage is not even discussed in 2025's mandate for leadership. Project 2025 mandates call for the protection of faith-based grant recipients who maintain support for the traditional definition of marriage. Mandate also supports conscious protections for those who do not wish to participate in same-sex marriages. So, it's basically saying that they're trying to help people not be taken to court. I know that there's a case that this is actually a brown skin girl. I'm gonna find her name that is actually in court right now. Because she did not want to make a dress for a same-sex wedding, and they're suing people because they don't want to make cakes for same-sex weddings and different things like that. I know churches now, one that I'm very, very familiar with, that won't even do weddings. Like if you go there, they won't do weddings. Why? Because the leaders won't admit, but they feel uncomfortable doing same-sex marriages. And so if they say that they're doing weddings, then they would have to open themselves up to doing same-sex marriages. So they've just cut out weddings altogether, you guys. And that's what we can't have. Like, if you want to be a same-sex marriage, if you want to marry somebody of the same sex, go to someone who believes the way that you believe. Go to a gay cake baker, or that's somebody who advocates. Why are you forcing people to go against their conscience to help you? I just don't understand. I don't understand. Anyway. Complete ban on abortions without exceptions and false and they say this is false. So it says the mandate calls for the government to comply with the laws that prevent federal funding of abortions. It also calls for federal support of alternatives to abortion, including adoption. Okay, so that's a false narrative. I did not know until I read this that it's already illegal or not. It's not lawful for the government to be paying for people's abortions, but they are. Like even the states, they're paying for abortions, and so I'm so glad that they struck it down. And Project 2025 is just trying to say, hey, the federal government should not be paying for people to kill their babies. They shouldn't. And I'm so glad they said that. They said it's banning contraceptives. That's false. They say nothing about banning or restricting contraceptives. Banning IVF, we already know that that's false. It's not mentioned anywhere. They're just making it up. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families. It says the mandate for leadership suggests that a future HHS secretary replace the policies of the Biden administration that promote the LGBTQ plus agenda, subsidizing single motherhood, disincentivizing work, and penalizing marriage, with policies that instead encourage marriage, work, motherhood, fatherhood, and nuclear families. Y'all, who would disagree with that? Who would disagree with that, you guys? Like, these people, these single mothers, I don't even think they want to be single mother. And for us to be propping it up like, oh, it's such a good thing that I had a baby and I'm doing it on my own. Like, I heard somebody say it's a matter of civil rights of the child. The child deserves to have a mother and a father. The child deserves to grow up in a family where they can say that I am part this person and part that person, and I have access to both of them. Unfortunately, LGBTQ IA plus, two women can't make a baby and two men can't make a baby. So you had to have somebody from the opposite sex to impregnate you or to get impregnated, right? And that baby deserves to have a relationship with the two parts of who they are. And so for us to be acting like that, let's just promote all these other kind of marriages, but then disincentivizing the marriages and the motherhoods and the fatherhoods and works and the nuclear family, like, that's unacceptable. The only reason we have a country is because of the nuclear family. I'll get off my high horse, you guys. That just bothers me. They said outlaw pornography. That's true. Y'all, you can say whatever you want to. Pornography is under the sin of lust. And if you believe anything about the Bible, lust has no, it doesn't stop, right? And so you wonder why, these people who watch pornography or anything, they end up hurting children and things like that. It's because the lust has no, stopping. There's no stopping to lust. And so, the pornography, it looks after children. I mean, it looks for children. I mean, it does. And then they do drugs and all kinds of things. Nothing good comes from pornographic material. So they want to outlaw it. Will they get away with it? Probably not. But there's nothing wrong with them saying, hey, it's wrong and we do not want it. I love it. I would get rid of pornography if I could. I sure would. I don't think anybody should watch it. Okay. In the Affordable Care Act, they said they offer a policy that curbs the abuses of it. Raise prescription drug prices. It says they want to lower it through competition and innovation, which is true right now. These drug companies are monopolies and they are jacking the prices up, and in a capitalistic society, free market is where it's at. I mean, that's the way that we have the most healthy society. Hold on. All right, sorry guys. Okay. All right, let's get into the education piece. I think that this part is interesting too. End free and discounted school lunch programs. That's what they're saying that they want to do. That is false, you guys. False. And I love their explanation. I'm going to just read it to you. The mandate for leadership advocates for the food and nutrition services be moved from the Department of Agriculture to the Department of Health and Human Services. The mandate condemns the Biden administration's decision to threaten schools that do not comply with radical transgender policies by taking away their funding for school meals for needy students. Additionally, the mandate supports prioritizing school meal programs for those students who are truly needy by reforming or eliminating the often misused community eligibility programs, which creates an entitlement for many students regardless of family income levels. You guys, like, I think that that's cool. Like, they're not trying, if you're truly poor and you can't afford it, then fine. But what a lot of these cities, these communistic places, that's what a lot of people did with that with the COVID checks and stuff. You just gave it to people regardless of what their income level was. I wish I could have given it back. Like, it ends up costing more. You know, and we want to be able to be generous to the people who need it. But you can't be generous to the people who need it when you're trying to give it to everybody else. It's not helping at all. So people are just talking about they want to end the school lunch program. No, they want to reform it. Okay. Use public taxpayer money for private religious schools. This y'all already know how I feel about this. I think that this is fantastic. This is where the school voucher program is. Americans are able to use taxpayer money to choose where they shop for groceries, attain housing, and attain higher education. Religious schools often outperform public schools, and families should have the choice to send their children to these schools. Absolutely. Why should me as a taxpayer my money be going to fund these poor schools, and then I have to take my after-tax dollars and pay for school for my children just because I want them to have a decent education? These schools should have to compete, and I can choose whatever school that I want to. If I am not sending my kid to the local public school, then I get to get that money back. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that, y'all? Shut down the Department of Education. Yes. Shut it down and give the controls back to the state and local governments and expand school choice. Yes, the state and local governments understand the needs of a child in Baltimore more so than anybody could ever understand them. The federal government is trying to cookie cut the education system and giving the same education requirements to a kid in Baltimore as a kid in Colorado. And they are so different. A kid in Texas is different than a kid in Chicago. So the people that are closest to it would have the power. And the federal Department of Education, those dollars that we spend every single year to fund these places, would go to the state and local government. Who would not agree with that? Who would not agree with that? And it would improve educational outcomes, as it says, for all Americans, especially underprivileged communities. Because instead of the money going to some federal bureaucracy that doesn't even care about these kids, I think in Baltimore, they were saying, you know, like these high schools, you can go to several high schools and you don't have a single child who is doing math on grade level. But all of these people in the federal Department of Education are taking home their paycheck. They're taking home their paycheck. It's insane. It's insane. You guys, we can't keep doing that or we're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a country. Okay, economy and workers. Let's keep going. Cut Social Security. This is false. False. The mandate does not advocate cutting Social Security. Even liberal CNN fact checkers have confirmed this, stating unambiguously, fact check, Harris falsely claims Project 2025 blueprint calls for cutting Social Security. I cannot stand it. when these liberals say that conservatives want to cut Social Security. First of all, nobody needs to want to cut Social Security. Social Security is going to cut itself. The math ain't mathin', okay? When it comes to Social Security, you have all these people. When Social Security came out, you had a mother and a father, and they had 10 kids. Let's say they had 10 kids, right? The 10 kids would then pay into Social Security to cover for the mother and father. This is just the basics, you guys, for the mother and father. And the 10 kids would get jobs. And then those 10 kids would have 10 more kids. And then that's how Social Security worked when people were having tons of kids. Now, you have a mother and a father having one kid. Then that one kid has some kind of problems that they can't even work. So they're not even paying into Social Security. Like, this is happening more and more often. When people were having more kids, Social Security made sense. Now that people are not having kids, I think the birth rate in the United States now is like 1.7. You cannot have a sustainable Social Security when people are not having children. So whether they want to cut it or not is irrelevant. It's going to cut itself. It's cutting itself now. Do the math, y'all. It's crazy. Hold on. Miss Mandy don't do what? He said he doesn't want interracial marriages but I can't say anything. Okay. All right. Y'all have it. Okay. All right. Oh, Mandy, you said, girl, they came into my mother's nursing home telling my mom to vote for Kamala because Trump was going to cut Social Security. It's insane that they're just lying. That's what bothers me about these people. And conservatives, we're above lying, so we're not going to lie on them back. So we are trying to tell these people the truth, and the lie is just more attractive. It's crazy. Eliminate unions and worker protections. You guys, it says it presents different ideas about a conservative labor policy. It calls for combating the excesses of the deep state bloated from federal employee unions, which have ensured the federal employees keep their jobs, even if they engage in illegal behavior or perform their jobs poorly. You guys, I'm sorry, but the teacher union, this includes the teachers' unions. How are the teachers unions supposed to be protecting the teachers when the kids are failing? Like, it's horrible, you guys. It's horrible. We can't be protecting the workers when the very job of the workers is to be making sure that the kids get what they need. And right now, all we're doing is protecting the teachers. These are the teachers unions. These are the healthcare worker unions that are not doing what's best for the vulnerable population. So yes, they want to reform it. There's nothing wrong here. I don't understand what's wrong. Raise the retirement age of they said raise the retirement age. Nowhere advocated. Like I said, you won't have to because they're gonna run out of money soon. So the age is gonna have to be raised. Y'all can y'all don't have to like it. But it's true. Cut Medicare, false. Okay, let's go to immigration. Mass deportation of illegal immigrants, true. Y'all, okay, I believe that we should mass deport these people that are here in our country illegally. It says supports an orderly and lawful immigration system. It advocates that the Immigration and Custom Enforcement's Office of Removal Operations be primarily responsible for enforcing civil immigration regulations, including the removal of those who have violated our immigration laws. It also calls for additional resources to put an end to Joe Biden's border crisis and enforce immigration laws. Okay? So we have laws on the books that they are not enforcing, you guys. And so all they're saying is we cannot have all these people coming into our country illegally, and then just have them here. Now, they believe in mass deportation. I don't know if we're going to be successful at that, because I think it was President Trump said that we're at like 21 million, the real number of illegal immigrants. And just to think, our police, our resources are just not equipped to handle fighting with them. These people, a lot of them are violent. You think that you're just going to leave easily? I don't think so. You're right, Matt. That's my honey, y'all. The laws are there. Absolutely, they are. Put a fence up already, Trump. Did he? Nope. I don't know what that. Denzel. He was putting up that fence. They stopped it. So, anyway. All right. Deregulate big business and the oil industry. This is mostly true. America needs energy that is plentiful and affordable. Project 2025's mandate for leadership calls for an all-of-the-above energy policy that would promote the development of our domestic, meaning here at home, energy supply. That's just AKA drill, baby, drill. And the fewer burdensome regulations for all businesses. Okay. The way that we have innovation, the way that we have production is to produce, and less regulation helps that. Okay. Increase Arctic drilling. True. The Arctic is of immense strategic importance to America. Project 2025's mandate advocates a strong pursuit of American interests in the region through economic freedom, through ensuring free and open shipping lanes, and through the development of the vast energy resources of the Arctic. You guys, I hear people all the time, all these green people, oh, we need to change, sorry, hold on, guys. All right, all these people saying, oh, we need to stop mass producing energy and stuff like that. You guys, nobody is willing to change their lifestyle. No one. You could say all you want to about, oh, I won't drive a car, I'll just ride a bike. Like, how sustainable is that? And that's not even all of it. I mean, you have to heat your home. Are you going to deal with less heat? Are you going to deal with more? Are you going to deal with less air condition when it's hot? Like, are you going to? You're not. We're not going to change our lifestyle. And if you are a believer, you shouldn't be saying that anyway, because there is no such thing as lack in God's economy. And God's economy, I heard someone say, is an orchard. The more that we use, the more that there is. God would not tell us to be fruitful and multiply if we were running out of resources. They keep saying that we're running out of resources, that the ocean is rising, but they keep having oceanfront properties. If you thought the ocean was rising, would you have an oceanfront property? No, you wouldn't. So they keep all these lies, keeping us fearful, making us think that, we're getting ready to be extinct and all the resources are going to go away, and we somehow can play God and preserve the resources, and we can't. We have to use the resources that God gave to us. You guys, I hope this was helpful. I actually learned a lot as we deep dive. I already knew how much I agreed with Project 2025, but going and debunking the lies are actually really, really helpful. You guys, like, share, subscribe. Send this to some of your liberal friends, you guys. Send it to them, because they don't really understand that they are being manipulated by the left, who wants to control and wants to act like Project 2025 is something different than what their liberal think tank people are doing. Unfortunately, Republicans and conservatives are so honest that they're just not willing to lie and make a big deal about their conservative, like exaggerate that. We're just not willing to lie like that. So we hope that a lot of the American people can read through the lines, and unfortunately you're not doing that. So we have to break it down. Hopefully you guys learned something. I love you guys so very much. I'm so grateful that you watch. I'm so grateful that you comment. comment. I'm so grateful that you subscribe. Miss Mandy, thank you so much for helping. Shout out to Miss Mandy. She has a podcast called Miss Mandy Reacts. She does true crime and breaks it down. It's really cool. Shout out to Matthew K. Jenkins, my talented hubby, who's fantastic. He has a Bible study called Weightier Matters. You guys, if we can drop the link in the chat, Weightier Matters, he actually talks about the weightier matters of this time. Like, we're fighting war, but we're like arguing over stupid stuff, and he actually kind of talks about how we can live life abundantly and how God has laid it out for us, the plans that he has for us. So you drop the link in the chat, honey bunch. Yep. Miss Mandy, you guys, thank you so much. It says I can't send it to my liberal husband. He never listens. Oh, I'm sorry, Veron. You know what? You just got, so when you have liberal friends and you have liberal family, you got to just kind of like talk to them and back off. You got to talk them back off. Like throw it out there. And I'm telling you, it's going to work on their heart. It's going to work on their mind, you guys. Like she said her liberal husband, hold on, I'll put it up there. I can't send it to my liberal husband. He never listens. I'm telling you, Varun, like if you just continue to just throw it out there, don't be too badgering, you guys, because you got to remember, especially if you're an ex-Democrat like me, like I was so sure that I was right and I was dead wrong. And it took some time for me to figure that out. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you guys. And until next time.